Good morning. Welcome to my class again. Today we are going to discuss about the third method of measuring national income. Earlier we had completed income method and expenditure method. Today production method. Another name of it is output method or value-added method. Production or output or value-added method. This is the third method of measuring national income. Okay, let's start. In production method, what we do? In income method, what we have done? We can add all the incomes of the country, all the income. In expenditure method, we count all the expenditure, all types of expenditure of the country. Now in production method, we add all the production of the country. The total value of production by all the sectors of the economy is included in production method. Okay, the total value of final goods and production of final goods and services. We include only final goods here, not intermediate good. Why not? We are coming later. So only the value of final goods and services produced by all the sectors of the economy. Okay, what are the sectors? Three sectors of the economy: primary sector, secondary sector, and tertiary sector. The total production of all the sector included in the production method, because the total production is made by these three sectors only. Okay, so this is our first step. Step 1. In step 1, what do we do? We identify all the sectors of the economy where final goods and services are produced. These are the three sectors: primary, secondary, and tertiary sector. In these three sectors, goods and services are produced. So this is our step 1 in the calculation of production method. How we can calculate, how we can find the production units. Step 2. In step 2, we have to calculate the gross value added by all the three sectors. Okay, gross value added. Gross value added. In short, it is called GVA. It is calculated in market price. Gross value added market price means total value of production by all the three sectors. Okay. Now gross value added market price, how you calculate? Value of output minus intermediate consumption or intermediate purchase. Intermediate consumption or intermediate purchase, same thing. Okay, value of output minus intermediate consumption. Value of output means total production. From this we have to subtract intermediate purchase. Intermediate purchase means the goods and services required in the production process. Suppose raw material and other ingredients what are required in the production process. We have to subtract it. Otherwise, there will be problem of double counting. We are coming later. Double counting as well. So, how we can calculate the final goods and value of final goods? We have to find the value of output. Then we have to subtract the intermediate purchase or intermediate consumption. Then we will get the value of gross value added market price. Now, value of output having two parts. One is sales, another is change in stock. Sales plus change in stock minus intermediate purchase or intermediate consumption. Intermediate purchase or intermediate consumption. So this is the value of formula of gross value added market price. Value of output is the sum total of sales plus change in stock. Why these are the sum total of sales and change in stock? Because whatever is production, its a part will be sold and the remaining part will be change in stock, unsold part. Change in stock formula, closing minus opening stock, same thing. So gross value added is value of output minus intermediate purchase or intermediate consumption. Value of output is the sales plus change in stock minus intermediate consumption. So this is our second step. How we calculate the total value of production by the sectors. Step 3. In this step, what we have done, what we do? In this step, we have to calculate GDP of the country. GDP market price. How to calculate GDP market price? GDP market price means what? What are the three sectors of the economy? Those who produce GVA. These are primary sector, gross value added by primary sector plus secondary sector plus tertiary sector. This is GDP market price. The total production of the country means the production of primary sector, secondary sector and tertiary sector. So we get GDP market price. Now national income, NNP factor cost. Same way we have to convert GDP market price, gross minus depreciation net, domestic plus NFI national market price minus net indirect tax. Okay, so finish. So this is the process how to calculate national income by production method. We have to first find gross value added market price by all the three sectors, primary, secondary and tertiary sector. Thereafter we calculate GDP by adding the gross value added by primary, secondary and tertiary sector. Then after convert it to national income, GDP NP, gross minus depreciation net, domestic plus NFI national market price minus NIT factor cost. Okay, so this is the basic of the production method. Okay, now there are some typical parts also. First one is sales. It is required to go through numerical questions. In numerical questions, this part is required. Sales. Sales means if directly given sales in the question, then we have to add it. But sometimes direct sales are not given. Parts of sales are given. What are the parts? Sales to government. It may be given. Sales to domestic market. Sales to household. Okay. Sales to other firm. Suppose A is a firm, he may sell it to other firm. Sales to rest of the world. Okay, if a firm sells to the other country, when it is sales to rest of the firm, rest of the world, it is called export. Okay, a firm sells to other country means it is export. So these are the part of sales. If directly sales are not given, this part will be given. Suppose sales to government, sales to household given. Then we have to add this to get sales. Similarly, purchase, intermediate purchase. Intermediate purchase or intermediate consumption. Okay, it is also same way. Farm may purchase from the government. Intermediate purchase means by a farm. Farm may purchase from the government, purchase from the domestic market. Farm may purchase from household. Farm may purchase from other farm. Farm may purchase from rest of the world. When a farm purchase from rest of the world means import. Okay, so if directly intermediate purchase not given, this part will be given. Then we have to add all of this to get intermediate consumption. Okay, now sometimes intermediate consumption will be also given, import also will be given. That time what we do? We avoid import because import already included in the intermediate consumption. Okay, so this table is very important to calculate sales and intermediate consumption. Both are the same thing. Sales to these sectors, purchase from these sectors. A farm may sell to this 5 sector. A farm may also purchase from this 5 sector. So sales and change in intermediate purchase. Okay, so this is very important part for solution numerical. Next important part of this topic is double counting. Problem of double counting. Problem of double counting. Double counting means what? Double counting means if we calculate the value of same product more than once, then it will be treated as a double counting. Okay, same product if you calculate again and again, then it creates the problem of double counting. India faces the problem. So our national income, actual national income is not reflected in the value. Whatever we are getting, this is not the actual national income. Our actual national income is so less, but due to the problem of double counting, the figure of national income seems so big. So there is a huge problem for the calculation of national income. Problem of double counting. What is it? For example, suppose Suppose a farmer produces wheat. Okay, farmer produces wheat and he sells to a miller at rupees 100. Okay, farmer produces wheat and he sells to a flour mill at 100 rupees. What the miller will do? The miller will produce what is called rice or something. Miller produces flour from this wheat and sells it to a baker. Baker means the person who produces breads or biscuits like that. He sells it 100 rupees to the miller. Miller produces flour and sells it to the baker at rupees 120. Okay. Now baker do what? The baker suppose makes bread of rupees 130 and sells to the final consumer. Final consumer means after that it will be consumed directly. No more goods will be produced from this bread. Okay, suppose the production process stop here. It starts from here and stop here. So 4 steps are there. Farmer produces wheat, say of 100 rupees, sells to the miller. Miller produces flour of 120 rupees, sells to the baker. Baker produces bread of rupees 130 and sells it to the final consumer. Okay. Now what happened? 4 sectors of production process. Now in the calculation of machine income, it is also production, it is also production, it is also a production. 3 types of production. Okay. Now in 3 types of production, what happened? All are producing. So if we calculate machine income, so what we do? 100 rupees production by the farmer, 120 production by the miller, baker produces bread of 130 rupees. So total machine income how much? 100, 350 is the national income. But it is actually wrong national income. Here the problem of double counting is there. Because of why? Because the price of wheat is reflected in everywhere. Here also it is reflecting, here also it is reflecting. But the value of wheat should be included only once, not again and again. So here we are including again and again. Okay. Now what is the how to solve it? We can solve it by 2 methods. What are the 2 methods? One is final output method. Second one is value added method. Okay. Final output method means what is the final value of final product? Here value of final product is what? 130 of bread. So 130 is the actual national income, not the earlier one 350. 350 is not national income. The actual national income is 130. What is the value of final product? These all are intermediate product. So we are done in step 2. Gross value added is equal to value of output minus intermediate consumption. This intermediate consumption we have to subtract. Then only we get the value of final product. So if we include the value of final product, what happens? This intermediate product, wheat, flour, these all are excluded. Only the value of final product is included. So this is one method, value of final product. Second method is value added method. Value added method means what are the extra value added in every stage of production, these will be added. Okay. Suppose first stage of production, what happened? 100 rupees of wheat are produced. Okay. In the second stage, how much value is added here? Only 20 rupees is added. The miller added only production of 20 rupees plus 20. In the third stage, baker added only 10 rupees because he purchased wheat of flour of 120 rupees and he produces bread of 130 rupees, means he had only 10 rupees plus 10. Okay. Now add all of this, it will be 130. Both are same thing. Okay. So we can avoid the problem of double counting by including only the value of final production or value added method. In value added method, what we do? We add the extra value added in every stage of production, step by step. So in both the method, answer will be same, 130, 130. Okay. So this is very important question from this part. What is the problem of double counting? Give one numerical example. This is the example, and write the steps through which we can solve the problem of double counting. These are the 2 steps. step 1 final output method and step 2 value added method. Okay, so that's all for the production or output method. You better go through the video so carefully, because this part numerical question is little bit typical. Two types of numerical question is asked. One is asked calculate gross value added or net value added. Another is calculate national income. Three categories of question. One is only for the gross value added at market price for 4 marks or 3 marks. Net value added for 3 or 4 marks. And national income for 6 marks. So all the part are very important. So go through the step very carefully, especially step 2. Step 2 is very important in this part. Step 3 is easy. We have to calculate only the value added by the primary, secondary and tertiary sector. Okay, that's all for today. See you. Take care.